welcome back to Wicked Arts. Wicked here, and it is our Digital Wednesday. And I figured since I just did my graphic novel, I kind of show you guys how I do panels when I do my graphic novel. So if you're ever working on one yourself, what you can do is first you want to make sure that your image size is the size of a traditional comic book or graphic novel, so 6.88 inches in width and 10.5 in height. Now I have a really high resolution set. 300 is good enough, but I just like making mine a little bit brighter. Okay, and then what you can do is if you just do a Google search, you can just type in average comic book dimensions at print size or whatever. You can bring this in and just lower the opacity down just so you can see over the top of it. And what we'll do is we'll just create a new layer and we'll just hit panels. Okay, so with these lines, right, we have the orange line is the full bleed where things just completely run off the page all the way. You have your trim line, which is where they usually tend to cut the page when they come out with, so just be aware that anything that goes outside of that is probably going to get cut from the image. And then you have your safe area that's not going to be touched, so you want to try to keep most of your panel work inside of there. Now how you want to design yours is completely fine, but I'm just going to show you how to do just a basic panel. So with just a regular brush, I'm going to go up to 50, right? Just get a nice thick border. And what you can do is to kind of help guide you, so I'll make a new layer here and we'll just say trim just so you can see it. I like to do this just so that I can see where things are going to be. And I can just kind of go around. And then I'll know no matter where I set this up, as long as I don't go outside this area, it's not going to get cut off. Okay, so I'll go back down here and now I can switch that off. So as long as I don't go outside, we also have our safe area, right? So we want to give ourselves some space. So if I come down into the panels, I usually like drop down about 20. Right, so you can do anything from a basic paneling, right? So I could just come across, right? And then let's say I wanted one thin frame, but I want to put that separation between the two. Then I can come over here and make a little bit bigger one. At the end, right? So like now I could come in here and just simply come to and just kind of hold my shift button and find the center. And simply just erase out. Those middle sections. So I mean, obviously the first thing you want to do when you're doing this stuff is you want to make like a storyboard of just the entire story. And then you can just kind of drag and drop these images in here as you go. Right, so again, I can pull that page back up and come in here and we can have another gap. And maybe this will be a wide shot scene or something going across. Sorry, I just keep dragging a little bit too far. Okay, and so like this is a whole panel right here, and then maybe again across bottom. Maybe I have another panel try to get more towards the center like that. And again, I can just kind of come in here take my eraser, hold the shift key, and go down the center of it. Try not to bleed into the lines that you have so you don't get rid of it. And again, your basic comic strip setup. Alright, so now everything's set in motion. You have your trim, and now you can start dragging and dropping your things in here, right? So that's just a basic kind of setup that you can do. You're telling a story from right to left to right, whatever setup you're trying to go for. You want things to kind of draw so that they're reading and jumping to spots. So if you come down in here and you put like bubble letters and stuff, you can kind of use those to guide you to each frame. Um, the next thing we're going to talk about is getting creative with it, right? So let's say you wanted to have multiple things going on in an image at the same time, right? What you can do is let's say this is just one big frame, right? We wanted to go to the trim edge, and I have just this huge drawing. Let me just do like a quick little sketch here, right? So I got like my character is standing right here with his hands on his hips, and he's kind of, bragging about whatever, and he's standing there and we're kind of looking down at him, right? I can come over here to these panels, and since I already have my trim line set up, what I can do is, right, we could set things up. Let's bring our brush size back up to 20, but I can set things up to where we're kind of having multiple things go on at one time while our character is talking or saying whatever. And then, of course, some of your image will end up getting blocked, and that's fine because it's all just supposed to be an intricate, kind of cool design for everything, right? So now you can go in and add, different things. Like maybe there's a guy right here, and he's yelling at something, and the other guy is yelling back at him. And then in here, the dude is jumping and kicking somebody in the face. So you can see I have all these things going on, and like this guy is sitting here laughing, as he's watching these people fight and do other things. Like somebody's being punched and they're flying back that way. So having that kind of setup too can kind of help make things more interesting, so they're not seeing the same page over and over again with the same panels, right? So again, I can come in here and erase that out. And we could come in and do something else, right? We could come in and we got our safe area highlighted. I'm on my panels, right? So maybe we want to switch things up a little bit. Maybe we'll come across to about here and come up to here, right? And use that same area. Go across, right? And just kind of set up our panels like that. They don't have to be in the same boat. All right, something else we can do is, so like we have that in there, so we're going to go across. We want them to bring our attention back down to the next panel, so that's why we have our kind of lines going that way. All right, we can do this really long kind of image here. Make sure we keep it somewhat even, right? And so we have another set of panels that we can do, right? So when it comes to panels, you're ready to go. It's really just about as simple as that. Let me see if I can. So I have one that's similar, and that's why I was showing you the one. Let's see. I'm gonna open up this one right here. Okay. So this goes to show you again that. So I did this for a comic book that I'm working on with somebody else. But you can see I have the panels going around the main character. And there's all this stuff going on in the background. If we zoom in right here, we can kind of see the people running away from the onslaught. Somebody's going crazy up in this place. But again, you just need to make your panels interesting, right? So let's see if I can find you another one. Uh, Another good one. Let's do this one. Right? So just basic paneling, but see how I have some of my drawing is kind of overlapping. And then another one. Let's see if we can find a good one. Let's use this one here to where you can kind of blend on top of the other, right? Let's give it a second for it to open. Right, so see how I have panels on top of panels, right? And then I have this one's running underneath, and then we just have the huge wide image, right? So you can just get creative with how you want to tell your story. It doesn't have to just be something plain with squares. You can get in there and just really get, you know, different aspects of what it is you're trying to do. Anyway, let me know down in the comments if this was helpful. If you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, you want to see more of it or more details on comic books and stuff like that, just let me know. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're just a returning person, I appreciate you. We're almost at 400. Comments help the channel not only grow, but it helps me guide it to you and what you want to see. So let me know. Um, Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember to keep on sketching, and I'll see you in the next one, alright? Bye.